A very good afternoon to everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all today to this workshop on liberal education. We have gathered here to not only explore the fundamental principles of liberal education, but also to gain insights from prominent thought leaders in this discipline. Today, we are privileged to have with us our esteemed resource person, Mr. Ashish Gupta, who is an award-winning author, dynamic leader in higher education industry, noted career coach, motivational speaker, and a management professional. Mr. Ashish currently works as Director of Admissions and Outreach at RB University, Bangalore, and has previously worked with universities like OP Jindal Global University and Jagran Lake City University, and education companies like Career Launcher and Educom Solutions Limited. He has won the national awards for his book series, AG's Career Guidance, that has 12 books, including the flagship book, AG's Book of Careers, India's biggest career book with 1,000 plus career options. He is a passionate public speaker and career coach and has delivered more than 1,000 sessions on career guidance in schools and universities across India, South Asia, and the Middle East. We welcome you, sir. We also have Ms. Suchitra Singh with us today. She's an admission manager at RB University. She looks into session counseling, admissions and outreach. We welcome you, ma'am. Once again, welcome to this workshop and a heartfelt thank you to our resource persons for joining us today. We look forward to an inspiring and enlightening session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us the opportunity and hosting us here. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure it's a work day for you, and then coming to the training, it's not that cheerful, no? Okay, my name is Ashish Gupta. I have been working in higher education for last 13 years now. As a privilege, I always tell that one of the privilege I have is that I was born in North India. I did my education in Central India. Went again back to Delhi to work with OP Jindal and then came to Bangalore to work with RB University, having traveled pan-India and multiple countries. I have got a lot of exposure to see the geography, meet people, understand culture and how exactly we are interconnected. And that exactly is what happens when we talk about liberal education. Liberal education in simple language is all about interconnectivity. Today's kid is not limited to one profession. Whenever I talk to people, I give an example that is very close to my heart. I have seen one of my father's friend. When he started his career, he would be about 26 years old, and he started as a cashier in a bank. He retired after almost 25-26 years of service as the branch manager. But there's one thing that was consistent in his life. What was that? One company, one job, one profession. He started with SBI. He started with the profession of banker. He grew in his career and ended in the same bank. That is the kind of consistency your generation have. A little bit my generation has. But the generation that we are seeing, the generation that we are dealing with, the generation we are teaching, do not have that kind of consistency. Do you think any kid that you are teaching will work for 25 years in one single job? No, 25 months is a big time. We are dealing with a generation that has attention span of less than 30 seconds. We are still dealing with a generation that is all about scrolling. We are dealing with a generation that is digital first. We are dealing with a generation that has much more knowledge of the world and what is happening in the world than what we have. And we are dealing with a generation who have access, or probably what we can say, open access to every single thing they want to know. So today, no topic is something that is exclusive to you. Maybe you're teaching geography, maybe you're teaching political science, maybe you're teaching biology, physics, chemistry, whatever. But tomorrow a student can go to YouTube and search about the Newton's third law, and they can have a world-class teacher, maybe from US, teaching the same thing. And the student can come back and question you, ma'am, this is what I've heard. This is what I've learned. That is exactly where all I say is that liberal education fits in. When a student is so dynamic, they need the education that is also that dynamic. Now, all of you have went to college just like I went to college, but what we have learned is that it is all about one subject, one specialization, and then we continue with our career. So probably we did undergraduate, we had few subjects. I did my graduation in commerce, and then I went for my management, I picked marketing, and then continued with my career. But today, if I see the demand of my profession, I cannot be just a marketing person to represent in front of you. I have to be a public speaker, I have to be a digital marketing person, I have to be a good manager, I have to have the marketing skills, I also have to have people skills, I have to have communication skills, I should be knowing how to create good PowerPoint presentation, I have to have research skills, and so much more to survive in a job that I am doing. Now that is the kind of demanding world we are living. And one more thing that is changing in today's world and today's student is something called gig economy. Now what do I mean by gig economy? The gig economy means that you are not for your survival depending on one job. If you see digital marketing, the kind of field digital marketing has come as a profession, people are working on gigs. That means I have to complete this film in 2 months and then probably I can take a break. Does your or my profession allow that? No. But today that is exactly what is happening. You see a lot of, so in your generation, we have not imagined Instagram or social media. For me, it was very early when I saw Facebook or Instagram. But I also never imagined that we would have something called content creator as a full-time profession. But today we have. I'm sure if you are using Instagram, you would be following some. And you are seeing their story every day that what do? We travel. What do you make money from? Somewhere. Some sponsorship, some content creation, some ads. Do you have a permanent job? No. Do you have a permanent house? No. Do you have a permanent life? No. You're surviving? Yes. That's what the world is changing. That's the dynamic world we are living in. And that is exactly where we also need dynamic education, which is called liberal education. Now, let us see what do we have in this session today. We'll be talking about the evolving role of teachers, we'll be talking about role of technology, what are the principles of liberal education, the global competencies that you require as a teacher, 10 key skills that I believe school should also teach apart from what you're teaching, the need for multi-skills education, and the last but the most important part is that I have prepared some case studies for you. Do you have career counseling in your school? How many teachers are aware? So one is that 100% teachers should be aware about career counseling, but I always tell, with no offense to you ma'am, that career counseling should not be limited to 1 or 2 persons. Every teacher should understand the value of career counseling, because a student reaching to career counselor is through so many filters. Now, if the career counseling is happening from 9th onwards, then a student has to have cleared the filter of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th to reach there. If it is happening from 11th onwards, then they have to clear the 5th to 10th filter. And then one person has so many people to handle. And that is why I want that every teacher should be enabled to understand the basics of career counseling, the basics of career guidance, because you are the guardian of these students. You are dealing with these students. I have dedicatedly prepared some case studies for you that I'll be giving to you after this session to understand the intricacies of how career counseling happens. And maybe you can help some students during your classes and maybe reduce some burden for you. So, my name is Ashish, as my introduction is already done. What I've done is that I have seen in my profession while we are corporate people, we are working, we have some numbers to deliver, I am doing my job, but I've seen what is one thing that is missing is lot of research on what we are doing. So we are doing career guidance, and somehow, being my passion, I'm passionate about speaking, I'm passionate about talking, doing trainings and researching the content. So 2018 is when I started my dedicated research on this subject called career guidance. Okay. When I started career guidance, I started to understand how many fields are there, how many degrees are there in India, how many courses UGC allowed to do in India, what exactly you do, how you do it, what are the ways to do it, and so on, so forth. And it took me almost 5 years till I was able to release my first book, which is my flagship book called AG's Book of Career. This is the book I released in 2022. This book consists of more than 1,000 career options under 22 categories of degrees that UGC allows. But then my journey did not stop, and I kept writing so many books. I am just showing some of my books. I have written 13 books on career guidance, and apart from that, some more subjects which are of my interest. My recent book is called Teenagers' Digital Safety in the Era of AI and Deepfakes. So recently, I was having a thought that since I have written so many books on career guidance, I saw somebody displaying their Guinness Book of World Record. So I thought, can I attempt for it? Is there somebody who would have written so many books on career guidance, or am I the only one? I connected with this person. I asked him that, how do you advise me? Can I get the Guinness Book of World Records? He said the first thing you should do is, you should go to Google and search who has this record. Because it is always easy to break a record than to create a record. If somebody has created one record, you can go search what they have done. You just go one step more and you have broken the record. And trust me, I went to Google, I searched the keyword, and it was like a breathtaking moment for me. When I searched Google for career guidance book records, this is what I found. So that is something, a basic achievement that I have done in the field of career guidance. Now this can turn into a Guinness is what I've taken as a challenge for myself. Now before we start, I always say that humans, one of the best motivating factor for all of us is the stories we learn from. I still have fond memories of my teachers. I'm not sure how many of you have seen, but I actually studied in a Guruji school where the teacher used to come in the dhoti. And the kind of respect I had seen. Recently I went to one school and I've seen interacting with class 12 student, and the kind of answers they were giving, I thought that life has changed so much. We were like, can't speak. When sir is there, you're not allowed to speak. You're only allowed to follow what you do. So I always still suggest teachers that where you can motivate the students, you can motivate them through stories. There are some stories we all can learn from. And I wanted to share some of my favorite stories of teachers who have changed the world, but for better. Have you heard about Anna Sullivan and Helen Keller? Huh? The favorite story? Helen Keller was born deaf and blind. But her teacher had the patience to handle her. She taught her, guided her, made sure she do something well in life, and today we all know who Helen Keller is. One of the lessons that we can learn from Helen Keller and her story of her teacher is that patience and perseverance are vital. Never underestimate your impact. Your efforts can unlock a student's potential, no matter how challenging the circumstances. I'm not sure if you have heard, you are in a premium school, you are part of DPS. Some of the top, most reputed and most recognized school chain in India and in the world. Do you know Coca-Cola? What do you think about Coca-Cola? What is Coca-Cola popular for? It's a drink. Coca-Cola and Nike are the two world's most recognized global brands. Somebody sees this red, you recognize Coca-Cola. Somebody sees the shoes, you recognize Nike. Do you know which other brand is recognized equivalent to Coca-Cola in the country in education? Speak loudly. It's Delhi Public School. You can clap for yourself. DPS is equivalent to what Coca-Cola into beverages. DPS is the most recognized education brand in the country. I meet a lot of teachers throughout the year. Not less than 1,000 teachers at least. And one of the things I have seen in teachers is there's not enough motivation. There's not enough content for you. There's not enough challenges for you. And you always feel like that, are you contributing enough? We all have those fond memories of our teachers. We all remember who our teachers are. Do you remember the first doctor you went to? Do you remember the doctor who gave you the first injection or first vaccine? Huh? Yes or no? How many of you remember your first doctor? How many of you remember your first doctor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how many of you remember your first teacher? Now imagine the impact. Can you see the difference of impact? We all are taught to become a doctor, to become an engineer, to become a pilot, to become this, to become that, to become everything, but not a teacher. But who do we recognize most? Who do we remember most? Who has the most impact on our life? I still remember the teacher who beaten me the most. Right? I was an outstanding student. Education was not my thing. I was smart. I wanted to do something. But if you tell me to do physics, probably not. And then I remember how one teacher came in my life. I still remember Vinay sir, who came in my life, guided me and told me that, Ashish, I can see the spark in you. I know you want to do something. I can see the energy, but I'm not seeing the interest. So can you tell me out of these 5 things, what interests you most? And I said, sir, English. यही मेरा interest है, इसी में मजा आता है मेरे को. Oh, okay. And he was an English teacher. And then he holded my hand. I understood the importance of communication, worked hard for 2 years to build the communication skills. I come from Hindi medium, UP background, typical, what I'm speaking I cannot imagine, because for half of my life I was speaking the typical Hindi language, which अगर मैं बोलूँगा तो आप समझ नहीं पाओगे, right? But he told me the importance of communication, and that was a life-changing moment for me. Still, if I say that who has contributed most in my life, it would be always Vinay sir. And that's the impact a teacher has. A student will remember you lifetime for the small things you have done, because what time you are doing is the most vital in a student's life. Let me tell you one more story, and I'm personally very inspired by this story. Do you know about Rajesh Kumar? Who is he? Rajesh Kumar ran a school without a building for 15 years under a metro bridge. And he has taught over 5,000 students who cannot afford education. Imagine the determination. Rajesh started at the age of 36. Right? The time when you start a family, the time when it is a high time for your career, the time when you want to do something, you want to become something, you have societal pressure. And all he decided to start is a school for students who cannot afford the fee also. And he cannot afford to build a building. But he found a solution. that you can do if you are determined without resources also. And that is how Rajesh ended up starting a school under a metro bridge in Delhi, ran it for 15 years and taught over 5,000 students. A key lesson for us, it's not the resources that make a great teacher, but the passion and commitment to educating every child, no matter the circumstances. When I do student session, the first thing I tell them is that you are the luckiest generation. Do you know how many countries are there in the world? 193. And any other option? 204. Okay, the last I checked is 197, 196 officially recognized, one not recognized, 197, the figure might be different. But if I take 196 as an option, that this is the many countries we have. Do you know where India stands as an economy? Fourth? Yeah? 5-4. We were fifth, we are coming on fourth, and we are targeting to become third. So you can imagine the colony you live in has 196 houses and you are the third richest or fourth richest. That is the position of your country today. You are the fourth richest. Now imagine in 200 houses, if you are fourth richest, are you lucky or not? Yeah? How many cities India would have? I'm not talking about the exact number because even I don't know. But all I can think is more than 500 cities in the country. And then lakhs of villages. Which cities stand as number one for the jobs and startups? Huh? So in India, you are third richest out of 200 houses. But even in that house, you have the biggest fridge, you have the biggest TV, you have the biggest everything. Does that make you lucky? I'm just giving you a perspective, not a reality. So you are sitting. Now imagine in Bangalore, how many schools are there? How many schools would be there in Bangalore? Huh? Last I checked, I think we have more than 1,000 CBSE schools only. And if I take overall number, it would be in thousands. And you are in a premium school, DPS, which everyone recognizes. Your schools alone has 7,000 students. I'm not sure how many schools will have 7,000 students. You can count out number 1, 2, 3, 4, maximum. You would be a top 5 school in Bangalore. Now, if you see in a pyramid that you will see 200 countries, top 4, in top 4, top city, in top city, top school. If that is the kind of resources you are sitting on, imagine how much you can contribute. It's all about the passion and motivation that I want. The next thing is the journey, 10-year journey of Jamie Escante. Now, this is a high school math teacher, okay, and he's struggling. Believed his student could master calculus. Now, this is amazing story. If you want to understand more about him, go and search the movie Stand and Deliver. This man worked for 10 years on one single topic, that is teaching calculus, and made sure even the weakest student who want to study maths made it. Believe in your students' potential even when others don't. High expectations and hard work can produce incredible results. If I go back in time, if I have a time machine and I go back to my class 10th or class 11th and ask some of my teachers that what do you think about my future? They will say very dark. More darker than the black hole. Right? Because those did not believe in my potential. And same stories you would have. You would have so many students who would not be that good in school. Might be living in some other world. Might not be understanding what is happening. Might not be understanding why I need to study physics. I had one simple question to my teachers. Boss, what do I do with this advanced maths? You tell me the practical application, I'll study. We'll come on that. How do you tell the practical application? Because that's a big challenge that we face. Oh, this is my favorite story. In 2019, I wrote a book called Celebrate the Real Celebrities. And in that, I picked 50 stories of people who are very unknown but have delivered incredible results. And in that, I picked one story, which is the name of Pyong Tenjem Jamir. So this person belongs to Nagaland. Okay. Now, in the 1960s, he came to Agra. There is a city in UP called Agra to study Hindi. In Nagaland, he was living. He came to North India and he came to study Hindi. Now, he studied Hindi, he completed, but then he got to know about his old parents and he had to go back to Nagaland. Now, this person did his graduation and post-graduation in Hindi. Going back to Nagaland, not fitting. What do I do? I only know Hindi, but nobody speaks Hindi here. What else can I do? I don't know, because he has not studied anything else. So all he did is, he started teaching Hindi. The language is a very sensitive topic in our country, and you all know that. When somebody, where nobody speaks Hindi and he is promoting Hindi, he was termed as anti-Nagas. He was termed as somebody who is against the society, because he is promoting something which people don't want. But this man got his determination slowly and gradually, that this is what I know, this is what I contribute. He had a lot of attacks, he had a lot of problems, but do you know what happens eventually? For his 30 to 35 years service, it is told that today in Northeast, especially in Arunachal Pradesh, in Nagaland, if people speak Hindi, it is because of this one person. So he connected so many people back to the country. Because of him, so many people could understand what is North India, what is Delhi, what is other cities, and could travel to this part because they learned the language there. And for his services, he got the Padma Shri. He would have never imagined that somebody who is so unfit, teaching Hindi in Nagaland, would end up being a Padma Shri. A teacher's dedication can break down barriers, whether linguistic or cultural. Your efforts can create unity, empower communities, and leave a lasting legacy, just like Padma Shri Tenjen Jamir did. The power of handwritten letters, again a very, very good story of this person who saw that lot of students are underconfident, lot of students are being bullied, lot of students are not able to utilize their full potential. So this person, rather than talking to these students, decided an unusual path. He started writing handwritten letters to students, telling them what they are good at, making them confident, telling them their unique abilities and what they can do. Sometimes small gestures of kindness and personal attentions can leave a lasting impact. You never know. That small moment, what you do for a student, that can create a lasting impact for life. Ron Clark, the teacher who changed life, there's a movie called The Ron Clark Story. I want all of you to go watch this movie. An energetic and innovative teacher took on one of the most challenging classes in Harman, and he used the technique of singing songs and performing raps to teach history and maths. He captured his student attention and transformed their academic performance. He later founded the Ron Clark Academy. Creativity in teaching can break through even the toughest students. Think outside the box to make learning exciting and impactful. So these are some of the stories that are my favorite, that I learned watching, learning, understanding how different areas, from maths to geography, from resources to without resources, from fit to unfit, you have every category of people who can inspire you and tell you to do something which is unusual. Do you have any story to share? Okay, so we'll continue. Now this is a TED talk that I picked. I'm not sure if audio works, but let me try. I think we are running out of time. It's 1 already. So we'll pass this video, but I'll share the link with ma'am, and she can share it further. The next thing is evolving role of teachers. If you remember when I started, I was telling you about the generation that we are dealing with, and the generation is very different. The generation is digital first. They study something on their smartphone and then come to class. So you are actually on your toes because you never know what the student has learned, what the curiosity he is coming from, what exactly he has seen yesterday is coming in his mind. One of the things that has become very crucial for you is how technology and globalization are reshaping education. All of us have seen COVID. What saved us in education? Technology. Zoom. Now imagine we didn't have Zoom. And there are people, there are countries. You cannot imagine. Because again, we are lucky. We were in a country that was technology ready. We had the supporting system. But I've traveled to other countries also where I've seen people have spent their years without education. They could not afford the resources. Globalization and technology are changing education. Today, if you don't like technology, the chances of survival are very less. Now what happens is, as a teacher, we come from old school. When we studied, we might have the books. We are not that used to of technology. We don't know what is AI. We don't know how these new technology words are becoming or how they function. We are ready to learn, but still there's a lot of pressure and we are already engaged in so many things. But there are two things that you cannot ignore today. Technology, you have to leverage technology for your advantage. Have you heard about ChatGPT? Have you heard about artificial intelligence? What is your opinion about artificial intelligence? What is it? Yeah, anyone. If we have little interaction, it will be more engaging and I'll be able to understand your thoughts also.
They can raise the mic.
Yeah. Anyone who can raise hand and talk about AI? If you have, or somebody who teach technology? Oh, everyone is pointing her. You are the technology teacher, computer teacher? She's an AI teacher? Oh, it would be great to listen to your thoughts. Yeah.
Non-AI teacher.
Not AI teacher?
Non-AI teacher.
Non-AI teacher?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think ChatGPT or artificial intelligence is eating up human roles.
Mm-hmm.
It's also eating up human creativity and jobs, basically jobs.
Very, very important discussion. I'll come on that. And thank you. You said that. Ma'am, I want to hear your thoughts also so that we can understand the thoughts and come back on this.
So what I should say, the definition, is it?
No, not the definition. What are your views on AI?
Yeah, AI is to make machines as intelligent as human. So you put in programs so that machine also learns and behaves just like how humans are doing. That's the standard definition of AI.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So now, very interesting point of view that ma'am said that AI is probably eating the human roles and lot of other stuff. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I'm not an AI teacher, again I'm a non-AI, but I've been teaching an IB student who has taken AI as specialization.
Okay.
And with her I have been growing, and I would beg to differ. I think AI is here to stay.
AI is here to
And
stay. That is
AI is here to stay, and we have to beat AI, and the only way we can do it is human beings can be creative, AI cannot be.
Okay.
And so if human beings are creative, that's the only way to survive in the era of the AI.
Technology. Wonderful.
I think we can coexist.
Yeah. So
no choice.
Now we have one more view, that is that she thinks that AI is here to stay and we have to. No problem. You can keep the mic. You can keep the mic.
I can just add this that what I have seen is, I've come in touch with AI very little. It has minimum influence in my life. But what I've learned is, unless you are intelligent, you cannot use AI judiciously. So you need a certain intelligence and insight to get full advantage of AI.
See, technology without knowledge is very dangerous. Just 2 days back, we had an incident in Lebanon wherein 3,000 pagers blasted suddenly. So you cannot use technology without brain. You have to have brain to understand what.
I'm talking about insights and not just intelligence.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, insights also. That's what I said. That it blasted because maybe the basic education was not there. Something was missing. So we have got 3 views to understand technology. Now let me share a story with you which will help you understand the views on technology and how it works. Do you remember which city was the economic capital of India 100 years back? Calcutta. Perfect. So what happened is India got independence 1947, 1950. We started a 5-year scheme. We decided that this is what we'll do every 5 years to grow, to understand, to channelize. By 1970s, India understood the importance of technology, why we need all the technology, all this stuff that is coming up, how the world is changing, and then India understood that we have to have local hubs for technology to increase the potential. We cannot be dependent on the imports. So the first proposal that comes is that let us set up an electronic city in the country. By the time it was around 1980s, and they decided that we'll set up an electronic city in the country. Now, there's always a question that why South India is more prosperous than North India. One of the basic reasons is port accessibility. So understand the basics. The cities which have the port accessibility, the better port accessibility, the more export you have, the more money you have. That is how Silk Road and all the ancient trades were working, right? It was around the ports. That is why you see all our bigger cities are either on the bank of rivers or on the bank of sea. Okay. So the basic idea for the government was, the first choice was which city? Calcutta. Because Calcutta had been an economic hub. That is the city where the Angrez focused most. You had all the world-class infrastructure available. You are in your golden era. All the India's top industries are running from Calcutta, and most importantly, you have a port access. Now, central government created a proposal and submitted it and thought that we'll start an electronic city in Calcutta. And this is around 1982, 81 or 76, somewhere in that era, 1980s. Okay. Now, Calcutta has a peculiar problem. The government. The local government. Who was in governance? Communist. The communists believe that humans have a shared potential of land and we all should go and do kheti in this land, grow and share among us. We don't need anything else. And they said that people will lose their job if we have electronics. And they have kindly rejected the proposal, we'll pass it. Government went to Chennai because that's the next obvious choice because of port connectivity, everything. But I think Chennai would have some other technical issues with North and somehow it did not work out. There was one city which was very smart. Who captured it? Which one? Bangalore. And today you have something called electronic city. Kolkata's misfortune was Bangalore's opportunity. Bangalore picked it. They created an electronic city. Do you know the people who have made the most money at the time of pandemic are the technology professionals. Imagine the risk of 1980s and the reward of 2020. Do you know why we survived the COVID so easily in our jobs? Because we had something called electronic city. We had something, a foundation from where everything wrapped up. And then we saw the technological revolution in the country. Of course, the credit goes to the people also. Now, the next thing happens. It comes 2000s, the year 2000. And the central government again decided one more thing. They said that the banks should be computerized. We all should use computers in our bank to make the banking more easy, fast and better. Do you know what happened next? Riots, literally. Go back and search. Not just opposition, not just opposing the decision, but there were people on roads right? Kendra Sarkar Murdabad, Rajya Sarkar Murdabad. I remember those memories. I've seen in my city, Bhopal, wherein people were, there's a central place, just like in Bangalore, you have MG Road or Church Street. There's a central place called New Market. I remember people having this placards. Rajya Sarkar Murdabad, banko mein computer nahi lagenge. What happened is, eventually it happened. Do you know today which country has the fastest payment system in the world? India. Now imagine in 2000 we did not have the computers in the bank. आज भी हम पासबुक लेके जा रहे होते भैया एंट्री कर देना. Right? The change will always be painful. Accept it today or regret tomorrow. Choice is yours. I gave you 2 stories to remember. Now, coming to AI. AI is not going to take your jobs. AI does not have the capacity to take your jobs. Your laziness will. What? What did I say? Your laziness will. Who wins a marathon? Why does Usain Bolt wins a marathon? He's the fastest runner. But there are 10 others who are in the run, who are in the race. But do you know about the 1,000 people who could not make it to the race? Nobody knows. No, you want to be in the marathon or you want to be in the out of the ground. It's your choice. I'm not saying to become Usain Bolt. I'm not saying to become number 1. All I'm saying is to be in the ground. So AI is here to stay. AI is your friend. The day you make AI your friend, you will love it. You will love the features you have. You will learn so much more. AI has the capacity to give you answer of everything. In fact, I always tell that we are living in such an era where I have a personal assistant free of cost. Whether I want to use it or not, my choice. Now imagine in an office you are given a personal assistant and this person is just sitting, eating tea, having tea 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner and namaste. And after 30 days, तुमने कुछ नहीं किया, बोले तुमने बताया नहीं क्या करना था. So that is what AI for you. Okay. AI is very interesting technology. You cannot escape. We are living in the technological era. The current generation loves technology and the only choice you have is to be with technology as fast as possible. The shift from content delivery to skill development. Now what happened is, I've seen my time in school and all of us have seen the time in our school. Our knowledge was limited and our only dependency in the classroom was a teacher. If my teacher says that India is the biggest country in the world, I was supposed to believe it. Because I have no other choice. In fact, one of the times, my teacher only made me a laughing stock in the entire colony, entire society and everything. Because my teacher told that in the Finland they have the roads of plastic. I believed it, she was right. But when I went back home, everyone was laughing at me. Then who told you? Right? So, my only source was the teacher. She is saying right, I believe it. She is saying wrong, I believe it. No other choice. Today, we are not in the same thing. You are teaching the geography, you are saying something, the student is going on YouTube. He is going on ChatGPT. He is going on different platforms. He is scrolling Instagram and suddenly find a geography channel. And he has so much more to explore. He will come back and answer. He might have seen something and come back to ask. Number 1. Number 2, as I was telling you, that today, the job, the only dependency for getting a job is not a degree. But there is one dependency for getting a job, that is skill. Degree and skills are complementary. If a student has good degree plus skills, they will make it better. If a student just have a degree and no skills, they might survive. If a student does not have skills or degree, Manrega, 400 rupees per day. Right? So, we are shifting from content delivery to skill development. Today you have skills. Communication is one skill. Public speaking is one skill. Globalization is one skill. Global competency is one skill. Adaptability, I always teach, I take a class on adaptability. I always teach adaptability is one skill. India is going to become third biggest economy. The today's generation, at the time when they will be working, just like us, probably you will have somebody from northeast, probably you will have somebody from east, west, north, south, but India. The tomorrow's generation will be working in a multi-country culture, wherein in a team a person might be from UK or US or Switzerland or Algeria or China or somewhere. They'll be living in multi-country culture, and at that time what they require is adaptability, understanding the culture and being able to get the desired outcome without having the cultural hassles. So, content delivery to skill development. The teaching has shifted. The teaching is not just limited to delivering the content. Now you have to understand the student possesses certain skills based on their choices to make it better. Right? Even the college requirements have increased. They are not just looking for an application. They have interviews, they have entrance exams, they have so many other things to test a student. Encouraging curiosity and critical thinking. Curiosity is key. We have so much to learn, so much to understand, but then starting at right time is what makes you fulfilling your potential. And real world application of learning and interdisciplinary teaching. So we were talking about the maths, physics, everything. I go out and see a bridge. What is the application that has went to build that bridge? Which subject is important for somebody to build a bridge? Maths and physics? Yeah? But I'm not sure, I'm not talking about DPS, but in general I'm seeing how many times we would have seen that we have taken a student to see a bridge, and where are the application of maths and physics work here? Has it happened ever? No. Do you know one of the fundamental subjects of footballer, the people who play football study? Physics. Have you taken a student to a football ground to see physics in action? I am wearing some clothes, you are wearing some clothes. The basic is calculations. But do I know how does the calculation works to stitch a suit? We are in a room, construction is done, sound is done, some chairs are there, lot of application of physics, chemistry. You are sitting on a chair. It is outcome of some chemical compounds through which we would have created. But have we taken them to a furniture or a chemical factory to understand how the chemicals work in real scenario? So when I was in class 12th, I had this chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, never understood. The only thing I could learn out of that is K2SO4, AS2SO4 ka whole thrice 24H2O. And that's the end, something I ended up. Real world application. Today, when we understand what we teach and we make them understand the real world application, you might need not to take them to show a bridge. But even if you show a bridge or a video of a bridge in your classroom, a construction of a bridge and how physics and maths is working here, they will have much more understanding of practical life and they will love it. Otherwise, there is no correlation. And that is where the disconnect comes from the subjects. I was talking, we had a principal's webinar recently, and I was talking to a principal, and then she was sharing experience of her son. So she was sharing that her son who loved maths, who wanted to have physics, maths, chemistry, but he also wanted to do biology. And somehow the school did not allow to have all four subjects. So either he can have physics, chemistry, maths, or he can have physics, chemistry, biology. No problem, the student passed out, he studied further, he went to Norway for his further education, and today he worked in an AI company which work on mind nerves. And do you know why he got the job in that company? Because while he did not study biology, his key core interest was biology. And he made sure he learned of his interest. And when the time came, he could answer everything that was required to clear the job interview. Real world application. Right. So there are a lot of things that we can learn from. This is what is evolving. The role of technology, we have already spoken about. The technology is indispensable. Now, one more thing I want to tell you here is that a lot of times in your classroom, you would have seen the cases of excessive use of technology. The students are addicted to Instagram, they are content creators, they are loving it. There are some cases of using mobile phone in classroom. I don't know how your school function, but you will see a lot of things. Now, I always see students have a bias towards, teachers have a bias towards technology. Sometimes it clearly shows that we hate mobile phone. If you use mobile phone, that's the worst thing I can see. We need to understand that these students are living in this world. They are born in technology. They are raised in their house watching YouTube as a pastime. Have you heard Cocomelon? Do you know about Cocomelon? How many of you as a mothers have shown your kids Cocomelon? Wow, great. Cocomelon is an interesting case study. Okay, I will urge all of you to go back to your house and learn about Cocomelon. Cocomelon is such an interesting case study to understand how addictive content is created. So do you know how they created Cocomelon? They created Cocomelon, actually kids sitting there who are their target audience. So now they are playing a Cocomelon video and they are recording these kids. And the moment they are seeing that kids are distracted, they understood this is what to be cut. Doing it again, doing it again, doing it again, until they have 100% perfection of a kid not blinking their eyes in front of the video. And that is how you create addictive products. Now what happens is, as a mother, somebody has shown Cocomelon to their kids and they are addicted to screen, and then the kid comes to school and you want them not to see the screen. Imagine the change. The entire world changes for a student. His mental state is something else. You want something else. That is when you need to understand students' state of mind. What exactly is happening? Why they are seeing this screen so much? And how do we handle it? Just outrightly saying you hate technology and you cannot use mobile is not going to work for this generation. And you also need to love how technology works. Yeah. So now we come to principles of liberal education. What exactly is liberal education? I've been giving a lot of examples. Whatever I'm telling you, just one more area I'll add and you will understand the liberal education is. Basically, if you remember, I started that we go to college, we prefer a degree, and in that degree we prefer one specialization and we ended up our career there. Today things work differently. So suppose if I talk about the university, I work in the university is called RV University. Okay, everyone knows RV? We also have RV PU school, right? So what happens is RV started as a school, then we bifurcated in a lot of colleges, a lot of different things. We also have RV College of Engineering. When we started the university, today we have engineering, we have management, we have law, we have media and communication, we have liberal arts, we have design, we have filmmaking, we have something called 360-degree approach. Now what happens is in RV we run a model of major, minor and electives. A student gets an opportunity to select their major, and they have 4 or 5 minors, and they have 120 electives to opt from. And that is exactly how liberal education works. Now imagine a student who wants to become a content creator. What do you think he or she will do? Mass communication. Exactly. Yeah? I'll come on that, don't worry. But what I've said is major, number of minors and a lot of electives to opt from that create the liberal education umbrella. Now liberal education emphasizes broad-based knowledge across multiple disciplines encouraging intellectual exploration and a holistic approach to learning. It fosters the development of real-life skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and ethical reasoning. Do you see this word problem solving? Huh? Yeah? Okay. Do you know there is a term called unicorn? You must have heard, in being in Bangalore, you have heard this term unicorn. What is unicorn? Yeah, so that's a unicorn as a creature. But in modern world, unicorn represents a company that has a valuation of more than $1 billion. Now, if I convert $1 billion in rupees, I cannot. But if I convert $1 billion to INR, then it would be about 83 billion INR. वो बिलियन में कितने जीरो होते हैं? कोई मैथ्स का टीचर बता सकता है तो प्लीज टेल मी. Otherwise, I don't know. Do you know how these $1 billion startups have started? Just through one thing. What is that? Problem solving. How many of you use Amazon? Is there anyone who doesn't? No, almost everyone, right? Why don't you go to a Kirana store today also to buy something? You have Amazon, right? We have recently seen a 10 minutes delivery, wherein a lot of new applications have come in and they deliver in 10 minutes. Zepto, right? Blinkit, right? Now today, my mind is so prepared for Zepto or Blinkit that I don't even order something in evening, even if I know I need in morning. Because I know morning I'll wake up and the first thing I'll do is go to Zepto and order bread and milk and curd and everything. What they've done? Problem solving. Right? You talk about anything. Swiggy, food, simple thing. I go to restaurant, I have to see the menu, I have to do so many things. They have solved my problem to order food online. Uber, I have to go out, talk to that auto wala, he'll say 100 rupees, I'll say 80 rupees, all that drama, nonsense. He said, click here, check the price, he'll come and pick you. Dunzo. Everything, every startup you will see, and you will see one thing, that is problem solving. They have solved your problem. And you know, one of the things, because you are teachers, you need to understand, what happens is when we come to this term problem solving, we think that someone has to be a space scientist to solve a problem. No. You don't have to become a space scientist or rocket scientist or go to ISRO and don't only you're a problem solver. You can solve very small problems at a scale and you can build a unicorn. Today is all about what is my day-to-day problem. Can I solve it? Tomorrow, you know what kind of innovations we are coming in? Amazon is testing a drone so that they can deliver directly at your home without a person involved. Pure application of AI. There are countries who are testing human drones who can fight on border so that they don't have to deploy humans to get killed. Problem solving is very crucial for the era we are living in. And problem solving with technology at scale has immense potential to build startups, to build great companies. And India, as a country which is growing at 8% rate per year, the potential is immense. So the philosophy of liberal education is, the core idea behind liberal education is to develop well-rounded individuals who are not just specialists in one field, but are equipped with the ability to analyze, synthesize and adapt to new information. It promotes learning that goes beyond technical proficiency, focusing on personal growth, civic responsibility and intellectual curiosity. The key elements are interdisciplinary learning, lifelong learning mindset, balance between depth and breadth of knowledge, and cultivating ethical and social awareness. Now there is again one more key element for you as a teacher is lifelong learning mindset. See, no matter what age you are, in today's world, there is one thing open for you, that is learning. There are so many platforms available. You imagine a subject, from music to the most technical subject, from creativity to the most technical subject. You can learn anything and everything today. and the potential is immense. You know Khan Academy? Yes, sir. Yeah? One of the most popular education platforms. How does the Khan Academy started? This person called Salman Khan, but later changed to Sal Khan so that he does not be connected with Salman Bhai, right? So he started teaching his nephew and recorded the videos. Then later he uploaded the videos, and the videos were so good that students instantly connected with that. And do you know who was the first person to invest in Khan Academy? Bill Gates. Potential is immense, you don't know. Before Khan Academy, nobody knew this person. He was just random person, just like all of us. But technology changed the fate. You don't know until you don't start. Lifelong learning mindset. All the areas, all the potential is open. Global competencies, I've already told you, we are living in an interconnected world today. Earlier world, if I remember the era of my grandfather, he would have traveled probably few cities in his lifetime. If I remember my father's time, he has traveled the country, at least 15, 16 states. And in my era, I have traveled pan-India and a lot of other countries. And I'm just starting. That's a change. Global connectivity is at scale. Now you are connected, your work is connected, and also one more thing is that the global connectivity is not limited to physical travel. Even without physical travel, I can have my friends all across the world. And these kids who are digital first, they already have. I will have to put some effort. For them, it is effortless. So for that, global competencies are to be developed. Tomorrow's kids, the bright kids, will be one who are globally competent. They will have global colleagues, they will have global opportunity, they will be working in different countries, different technology, different sources, multi-team, multi-country team. So global competencies refer to skills, knowledge and attitudes required to thrive in a globally connected world. These competencies include cultural awareness, global problem solving, and the ability to work effectively across borders. Okay, have you heard this company called California Burrito? Yes. Yeah. So in Bangalore, we are lucky. All the startups start here only. So we have opportunity to try everything and fastest. Now, do you know the guy behind it? Do you know the person behind it? Definitely not an Indian. So this guy is basically a US guy who came here to work, who came here to do a job in a technology company. Now he brought the culture of burrito with him. So burrito is basically a Mexican dish wherein it is just like roti and sabzi but pushed into one, right? So, and one of the common things between Mexico and India is food spices. They also love spicy, we also love spicy food. So he understood that for Indian palate, spices will work. हम राजमा सब्जी राजमा रोटी खाते हैं वो राजमा को उसमें भर देते हैं ये लो burrito, right? So this guy understood that this can work here and started. He started as a small operations. He started the company called California Burrito, and today California Burrito is I think 300 or 400 crore company with their 150-200 stores across India. Global competency. Now can you imagine a US guy coming to India and running a food chain? The country which is known for its food. हम पूरी दुनिया को food export करते हैं, बंदे ने हमें बेच दिया, right? That is the kind of possibilities that are available. And if I tell about Google CEO or any other CEO, you know, in the world, all CEOs are Indian, right? So those are the global competencies and global opportunities. You never know that you are going to work in India only. No, you have world, entire world open. This is something I picked, but I think we have less time. I'll just name it, you can see to it, maybe click a picture if you want, but I really think that schools should start thinking beyond the traditional education and beyond marks. Marks are very important, but in practical life, after first or second or third job, nobody asks how many percentage you have. It is just for the initial phase of life that you need your marks, you have to show your mark sheet. But beyond that, all that matters is the skills. So I think these are 10 key skills that schools should try to teach, I'm not sure how. One of the things that we have not learned early is how to manage money. Personal finance is a very important topic because there is nobody who can live without money and there is nobody who will not do something to learn, to earn. So money is very crucial, and the people who learn, these are not my slides, I've taken it from someone. If we start learning about money at early age, we will be efficient in it and we will do much better. I'll tell you my story. Okay. So there's a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I have read it early. And you know the worst thing I've done in my life is reading it early. Now what happened with Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a great book. But ये वही बात होगी आपने 12th क्लास की मैथ्स की बुक 6 के बच्चे को पकड़ा दी. अब उसने पढ़ तो लिया लेकिन एग्जाम में जो आया वो रियल वर्ल्ड में नहीं था. और जो रियल में था वो एग्जाम में नहीं आया. तो आउटकम जीरो. So what happened is that when I was a 25-year-old kid, I started my job. Within 2 years, I did well, and I learned Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and मुझे पता लगा कि लाइफ की जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है ना वो एसेट बिल्डिंग है. अगर आपने एसेट बिल्ड कर लिए तो यू विल बी वेरी रिच इवेंचुअली और मजा आ जाएगा लाइफ में. तो द फर्स्ट एप्लीकेशन आई थॉट टू पुट इन प्रैक्टिस इज कि रिच डैड पुअर डैड एसेट बिल्डिंग, गो एंड बाय अ फ्लैट. सो बाय द टाइम आई वाज 26 मैंने पैसे वैसे जितने इकट्ठे किए थे सारे उठाए और एक फ्लैट खरीद लिया और उसके ऊपर ईएमआई भी ले ली. बोले सिर्फ अपना पैसा जरूरी नहीं है, बैंक का हेडेक भी चाहिए, सो दैट यू कीप वर्किंग. हाँ, तो आई अप्लाइड द रिच डैड पुअर डैड प्रिंसिपल ओनली टू रियलाइज कि भाई अभी मैं सिर्फ 26 साल का हूं और अगले साल मेरी जॉब लगी किसी और शहर में ना. अब मेरे पास फ्लैट भी नहीं है और पैसे भी नहीं है. राइट सिर्फ वो बुक बची रिच डैड पुअर डैड. उसके बाद मैंने 27 की एज में अपनी कार ली. पिछले 8 साल से मैं उस कार को चला रहा हूं, पूरे इंडिया ट्रैवल कर चुका हूं, हर जॉब में वो मेरे साथ जाती है. मेरी लाइफ के जितने काम हैं वो उस बेचारी कार की वजह से हुए हैं. और जिस फ्लैट में मैंने इन्वेस्ट किया उसको मैंने आज तक देखा ही नहीं कि उसका करना क्या है. So personal finance is important, but the right approach. And that is why first teachers and parents should learn before the kids start going and learning. Right? So while it is important to learn, the right approach is also very important, and that is why schools should encourage professional teaching of personal finance. Second is time management. I always tell people, if you are there, Prime Minister is there or President of US is there, all of us have the same time, that is 24 hours, and same life, that is 70-80 years. Around 4,000 weeks we have. All of us have 4,000 weeks to live. And जो भी करना है वो 4,000 हफ्ते में करना है ना? अब उस 4,000 हफ्ते में somebody can go on to become a Prime Minister, somebody can go on to build a $1 billion company, and somebody will keep struggling in their life. Right? Time management. It is very important to understand the value of our time, how do we manage it and how we make the best out of it. Entrepreneurship का मतलब सिर्फ बिजनेस नहीं होता है. Sometimes what we understand is कि entrepreneurship का मतलब होता है जाके एक दुकान खोल लेना, which is not true. Entrepreneurship is all about putting the best effort in what you do. हमारे यहाँ मतलब दो चीजें, which I am not sure, I am not relating again, but speaking my mind louder, कि हमारे यहाँ दो चीजें होती है. बिजनेस करेंगे तो पूरी मेहनत, लेकिन जॉब करेंगे तो ठीक है ना, चल रहा है, नौकरी तो चली रही है ना. राइट? सो दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड. उस एटीट्यूड में क्या होता है कि द नौकरी विल कीप रनिंग बट योर ग्रोथ विल नॉट बी दैट फास्ट. द ग्रोथ विल बी दैट फास्ट व्हेन यू हैव द कॉन्फिडेंस दैट बॉस आई हैव डिलीवर्ड दैट मच, आई वांट दिस मच. और वो आप तभी पूछ कर पाओगे व्हेन यू हैव द एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. सो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज लाइक पुटिंग योर बेस्ट एफर्ट इन व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. इट्स अ बिजनेस, जॉब, व्हाटएवर. सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस. देखो लाइफ में ना पूरा गेम सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस का होता है. दैट्स अ हार्श रियलिटी. When you go to a job, it is in the first 10 seconds that your fate is decided. What's going to happen? When you meet a person, it is the 10, 15, 20 seconds that make the impression. And also, our self-awareness, self-worth, self-confidence makes a lot of impact in our life on what we are able to do and to achieve. Internet safety. Internet is, I always tell ki, you have seen the superhero movies? So superhero movies में एक antagonist होता है, एक protagonist होता है. Right? So you have a hero who is working very hard to save the world. And then you also have a hero who is working very hard to destroy the world. And both are superheroes. Both have superpowers. But एक hero वो कहलाता है and second one is villain. You know why? Because he has the superpowers. But he's not using it correctly. That is exactly internet for us. Internet has both. Today you are a technology teacher, you want to understand MIT mein kya ho raha hai, you can go and search and learn from an MIT professor. But you also have YouTube to watch a movie, the latest comedy video. And not you, I'm just talking to a student through you. So a student has everything to do. They can spend their days scrolling. They can spend their nights watching. Today if you start watching Netflix, it will take you at least 12 years to complete the content that they have, that too, if you watch continuously. So the content is endless. You cannot consume it all, but is it worth? Is important. So internet safety. Emotional intelligence is very important. Sometimes a lot of things in life happens because of emotional reactions to things which are not required. And that does not happen when you have emotional intelligence. You see, a lot of conflict in our personal life and professional life happens because of those emotional moments when we react. Later to realize that it could have managed. Right? Emotional intelligence. Goal setting. मैं हमेशा गूगल मैप का एग्जांपल देता हूं कि यू हैव गूगल मैप. व्हेन यू क्लिक ऑन गूगल मैप यू नो वेयर टू गो एंड योर जर्नी बिकम वेरी फास्ट, क्योंकि मुझे पता है अभी आगे लेफ्ट लेना है, फिर राइट लेना है, फिर उधर जाना है, देन वो रोड लेना है. नाउ इमेजिन द सेम डिस्टेंस आई एम ट्रैवलिंग बट विदाउट द मैप. एवरी स्टॉप आई विल स्टॉप एवरी प्लेस एंड आई विल आस्क भैया अभी किधर जाना है, फिर अभी किधर जाना है, फिर अभी किधर जाना है. सो आई विल रीच द सेम डिस्टेंस बट द टाइम टेकन इज 3. जहां पे मुझे 20 मिनट में पहुंचना था वहां पे इट विल टेक 1 hour. That is why goal setting. When you know your goals, you're just running. You know मेरे को इधर ही जाना है, right? So goal setting, integrity. Integrity is the key to happy or fulfilled life. What happens is that, I mean, you know better. You know much better day-to-day basis पे what all happens. I went to a school. I'll not name the school or the person who told me. The principal told me that Ashish, I have challenges every day. But you know what? Yes, I have new challenges every day. The old challenge does not repeat. Yesterday, what happened is that the teacher left her purse in the classroom. So they have to go to some rehearsal or something. One girl came back, took the purse and got 6,000 rupees which were in the purse, took it out, put her in pocket and went. Right? Now schools have CCTV. They found out who. The school, they were sensible enough not to disclose the student, called the parents, told the case, retrieved the money. The teacher knows, but not the class that knows. But you know why that happened? Probably because of not teaching integrity. Right? Adaptability, I already told you that we are living in a world where jobs are changing fast, countries are changing fast, destinations are changing fast, culture is changing fast, technology is changing fast. And all you need is adaptability. And the last is critical thinking, decision making. We are taking so many decisions every day. Not all decisions are correct and right, not all decisions are wrong. You don't have to regret for what you have done, you don't have to be happy for what you have not done and all that. But all you have to have is a critical thinking to understand that this is the direction on which I am going. The need for multi-skills education, I have already briefed you that we have liberal arts, design, economics, business, computer science, law, media and allied sciences, and in this what happens is we create a culture of interdisciplinary education. So my colleague Suchitra is there. We have 15 more minutes, so Suchitra will quickly distribute the case studies in groups. I think we have around 50 or 60 teachers here. Suchitra, you can take help of someone also so that we can distribute it fast. I'll just brief it and then you can read it later to understand how liberal studies work. So I'll take 10-12 more minutes to discuss this. So till then I would want your attention and then we'll disperse at 2 because I know you have to take your bus also. Now what has happened is in today's time the career aspirations have changed. The career aspirations are no longer just doing a college degree and go on to do a job. But there are different other fields. Do you know this year, who is the person who has paid the maximum income tax return in the country? Shah Rukh Khan, right? So if you see around 91 crore of tax he has paid, what is his profession? How come an actor is able to pay so much of tax and not a ISRO scientist? Huh? Right? Actors, entrepreneurs, cricketers, right? So you have number one who are actors, number two who are cricketers, and then all others. But do you know, there is also few YouTubers, I'm not saying actors, YouTubers who have filed the income tax return of 50 crore, 41 crore, 28 crore, 27 crore, 25 crore, 21 crore, so on and so forth. Now can you imagine somebody working on YouTube earning some crazy money like 25 crores? Huh? Would you want your students to become a YouTuber? Okay, how many yes? Okay, if they wish to. Okay, how many no? Right. Okay, so what I'll tell you is, you both are right. I'm not saying you are right with that, right? But what happens with us is that for some of us, we have a association in our mind with a word, and the word is called prestige. मेरा बेटा तो पायलट बनेगा, राइट? बेटे को साइकिल चलानी नहीं आ रही है, लेकिन पायलट बना के मानेंगे, रॉकेट साइंटिस्ट बनेगा, यूएस जाएगा। अबे यूएस जाके मैकडोनल्ड में बर्गर बांट रहा है, यूएस जाएगा। कहाँ रहता है आपका बेटा? कनाडा में रहता है। क्या करता? वो हमें नहीं पता। फूड डिलीवरी। हाँ? We have such stories. And you know why such stories are created? Punjab is very popular. If you see the Punjab story, you will understand how prestige works. बंदे को कनेडा जाना है. No matter what, legal जाना तो ठीक है, नहीं जाना तो डंकी जाएगा. So we have something called prestige career, and we are living in an era where there is nothing called prestige career. A YouTuber can earn more money than all of us together are earning. So you have to put your passion, your skills, your advances is also equally important as much as prestige. Now here is a student who want to become a legal content creator. So this student want that his interest is in law, and that is why he want to become a legal content creator. I want you to study the case study. I'll give you the briefing and then you can do it because we have few more. So this student will do a major in law because he want to become a legal content creator. For him, the more important is not to make a video. More important is giving the right advice. कोई गलत एडवाइस दे दी तो बेचारा अंदर चला जाएगा कोई, है ना? तो सही एडवाइस देके उसको so he will do a major in law. He will do a BA LLB, he will do a BBA LLB. For going to law, what he has to do is he has to clear a CLAT exam in this country, then he will go to national law universities. If he does not go to national law universities, then he'll prefer other law colleges and he'll start his journey. But just studying law will not be sufficient for him because he has learned law but he wants to become a content creator. So he will take a minor in media and communications. Now you see here, what I was showing, how we have adopted liberal model is that I have a school of law, I also have a school of film, media and creative arts. So that this student can take a major in law and minor in media. Now, this student also need electives. So what are electives he can take? He can take intellectual property law, he can take digital marketing, he can take creative writing, he can take podcasting and audio production, he can take public speaking and presentation skills. Right? Now when he does all of this, we have his academic plan ready. If you see the third page, we have his academic plan ready. His academic plan is major in law, minor in media and communication, and electives, all of these or some. But this is not where his journey ends. Along with his degree, he will also need the practical application for which he has to do things beyond his college. Maybe internship to learn the basics. So he will do the legal internship, or he may work with a content creator who is already a content creator, or he may work with some public speaking clubs to develop the self-confidence and public speaking, or he can also join some networking events to actually know people and tell them what he wants to do and how he can associate with people. Okay, and that is how for 5 years if he go on this track, he'll be able to become a successful legal content creator. And this is exactly, when I told you in the beginning, I told you that every teacher should be a career coach. Because you should also know when a student is asking, you cannot say that, okay, go and meet Vandana ma'am. Maybe some answers you have and then you can turn. This is how you prepare the career plans for students, right? So this is one idea. Second is, we have student, he's a business studies student, but he wants to become a tech entrepreneur. Now this student is a business studies, he is doing BBA, but he wants to become a tech company. Now tech and business studies are not same thing. This student will go on to do his business studies, major as BBA. He will take electives, he will key courses, he will study in business studies, entrepreneurship, strategic management, marketing for startups. He will study finance, he will take his minor in computer science. Now whatever startup, whatever technology you are using as an application, phone, Android, everything is part of the outcome of the subject called computer science. So he will take a minor in computer science because he wants to become a tech entrepreneur. And then his computer science key courses can be programming, software development, data structure, algorithms, introduction to AI and machine learning. So if you see the AI, this is part of the machine learning. What is machine learning? You simply say laptop and after some time you will see your phone is showing laptop ads. That is machine learning. You go and scroll something on Instagram and it will start showing you the same thing. That is machine learning. That is machine has its own brain. It is learning through your behavior. And your behavior is called the algorithm. Right? And then the electives. He can take his innovation, design, tech entrepreneurship. Beyond the classroom, he will do internship in tech companies. He will participate in startup competitions and hackathons. He will understand coding boot camps, how it works, and how the tech startups are created. And that is how we will have an outcome of a student who is a BBA student want to build a tech startup. Right? If you go to page number 8, so this is how you build the sample profiles of students to understand what they want to do and how different careers. I have taken through some creative careers so that you understand the dynamic of the creative world, career world. We have a marketing student who is aspiring to become a digital marketing expert. So now we have Priya. So Priya is a student who is studying marketing, but she wants to become a digital marketing expert. Not that complicated career, but a very straight career. We have a career plan for her that she will do a major in marketing, minor in data analytics, and her electives can be SEO, social media marketing, content creating, data visualization, e-commerce and digital sales. She can also do internship at digital marketing agencies, she can do certifications, and that is how she will have a career of digital marketing expert. You will have a lot of students who will come and ask you how to do digital marketing or how to work, because that's a hot property, hot field. We have a psychology student. Now, this is a very interesting thing. We have a psychology student who wants to become an HR manager. Now, Raj is a passionate about understanding human behavior and helping organizations create healthy work environment. He wants to become a human resource professional focusing on talent acquisition, employee engagement and organization development. What will Raj do? Raj will major in psychology, minor in business administration and electives in organizational behavior, employee relations and labor law, recruitment, talent management and all those things. He will do an internship at a company in the field of HR and eventually he will have an outcome of a career as HR manager who is from the psychology background. We have Sahil. Sahil is an engineering student who is aspiring to become a product manager in the tech company, tech industry. Sahil will do a major in computer engineering, he will do a minor in business education and he will choose the electives similar to product design, development, innovation management, user experience, agile product management and all of those. He will do internships and eventually he will have a career of a product manager in the tech industry. Sustainability is a very important field. I want all of you as a homework, you can go back and learn about green careers. You see, climate change is a very important issue and there are some issues that are not that visible. Like wastage is a very visible issue. You can see out and see there is waste, you can clean it. But climate is not that visible. But the impacts are disastrous. When climate works, when the mother nature works, the impacts are disastrous. We have seen Wayanad recently. That's how climate works. Okay. So we all have to contribute our bit towards climate, and as a teacher, one thing you can do is teaching your students about green careers. What are the careers through which they can earn money, make a career, but also contribute to the nature, right? So this is one student, Leena. Leena is passionate about environment sustainability and wants to become a sustainability consultant, helping companies adopt eco-friendly practices and reduce their carbon footprints. So Leena can go on to do a course, a major in environment science, a minor in business sustainability, and she can do electives in corporate social responsibility, environment policy and law, renewable energy, sustainable supply chain management, and climate change mitigation strategies. With her internship and some certification, she can work in the field of sustainability as a sustainability consultant. Now, not every student will go in arts, in maths or engineering or marketing. A lot of students are also creative. There is a student who is a fine arts student who wants to become a creative director. What will he do, right? And again, as I told you, please remember this, there is nothing called prestige career. I have seen some of the people who are in creative works doing excellent in their life, right? So, Amrita is an art student who dreams of becoming a creative director for a leading advertising agency or fashion brand. She wants to contribute her artistic talent with her leadership skills to oversee creative projects and build impactful brand campaigns. Amrita will do a major in fine arts, a minor in marketing and media studies. She will learn the electives of branding, visual identity, creative advertising, fashion and product photography, art direction and graphic design, storytelling. With her internship working with the experts, she will make a career in the field of creative director. And the last, which is a journalism student who wants to become a political correspondent. So we have covered all kind of careers from engineering to technology to journalism. This is the last. Arjun is a journalism student who has a passion for politics. Okay. Now, one more thing. Again, I'm not saying that your school, how you practice, but please understand that politics is not bad. Having opinions is not bad. Somebody having the other opinion than what you have is not bad. A student can have their own opinion. So when there is a political discussion, do not stop as if it does not exist. Because I have seen real-time things wherein we portray like politics does not exist in our life. But the reality is our life is the outcome of the politics. You see, what we are or what we are not is all because of who we choose. So politics plays a role in all of our life. Okay. Now, Arjun is a journalism student with a passion for politics. Okay, he wants to become a political correspondent covering election, government policies, international affairs for a major news outlet. Okay, what he will do a major in journalism, a minor in political science, and he will have electives in political reporting, investigative journalism, media ethics, law, international relations, public policy analysis, digital journalism and social media. Now, this is how I wanted to have you a glimpse of how the word of career formation works. How students can have the major minor elective combination that comes from liberal education play a role in building a career. So I hope you had something to learn from this session. Yeah? And I'm glad we are on time. It's exactly 2. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to me.
On behalf of DPS South fraternity, I would like to thank both of you, sir, and Suchitra. We would love to thank you for organizing this, having this session here. I'm sure we have a lot of takeaways, and yeah, thank you. And thank you everyone. Thank you.
Since just last thing, knowledge is good, execution is better.